so here we are, and I've put down the object right here, and now we're going to edit the object. So let's edit this. First of all, I might want to have an on-off switch to record it. So I'm going to add an action tag for any state. And let's see if I can zoom in on this a bit. So we'll name this action tag, I don't know, on. Now this is your programming name. It's not actually what shows on the tag. That's the action tag. So let's name this also just cube on. Now you're limited, if I'm not mistaken, to 4 of these things. So you can only have 4 action tags visible at one time. Though you could program it so you can see different action tags when the thing is in different state. You then get to pick whether it's visible to everyone or just the decorator. I'll just leave it to everyone. And new state is going to be 2. Okay, so that will make it on. And we'll save this. Then we're going to create another action tag. And this is going to be another action tag for any. You'll see it from everywhere. And this is going to be a new one that says off. So when I'm in state 1, which is going to be on, you can see other action tags, but because it says all, you're always going to see off. So I'll name this off. I'll also name it off. And states for any, visibility for everyone. The new state is going back to 1. So I think I did this right. Let me double check this. So on is going to change it to state 2, and off is going to change it back to state 1. Now by default, this cube is in state 1 right now. I hope you can still see this. I moved this around. That was probably a dumb idea. No? Well, let's zoom in. I'm hoping it's going to work. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so now I've got on and off, and we're all set up and ready to go. The next thing I'm going to do is add some materials for state 1 so that it's going to be off. So I'm going to add material for state 1, and the new material is going to be, let's see, it's going to be the animation. When it's off, I don't want the animation texture to show up. I don't want it to be visible. And so I'll save that. Now let me go ahead and minimize this for a second. Okay, so now the animation is off, and it's just normal. So let's turn the cube on. So now I can turn it off and on, but there's no animation yet. So let's go back to here. I should have named this material something. So I'll name it with a 1 just to keep things from getting too confusing. And we'll say light off, or animation light off. Yeah, say animation off. Alright, and we'll just save that just to make it a little less confusing. It can get really, really confusing as you start to get so many of these things. So naming them first with a number for the state is kind of handy. So now let's add another material for state 2, and that's the animated state when it's on. So we'll name this one with a number first. So we'll name it number 2, and this is going to be animation on. And we'll select the material to be animation. And by default, if you don't uncheck this, it's not going to light up. But if you so uncheck this because we want it to light up. It's going to be visible. And then we can pick an animation type for this, and you get scrolling or all strips. I'll just say all strips. And I'm trying to remember, I had 1 or 2 frames. I don't remember now. So let's try 1 frame and 2 strips and a speed of something like 10. And we'll save that. And let's minimize this down. We can go to the action tag there. We can see it's working pretty good. Yeah, glowing away. Probably need to make it a little faster. Let's see. So let's go to that animation one again. And let's see. Let's make it 50 or something. Let's save that and see how that looks. Oh, hang on a second. I minimize this. So we turn it off. We can turn it on. And that's basically how you do your basic programming. We can also do other things too. So let's go and back to editing, and we'll create a light. Remember, we talked about how you could put the lights around different places. Let's go to light for state 2. and we'll add a new light, and we'll make it a bright green light. Here's omni, but there's also directional. If you make it directional, you get to pick which direction it's going. You can only offset it like 2 meters from wherever you put the node, but in this case we'll just make it an omnidirectional light, and we'll make it from node, I think node 0 was above it if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember now. It's more than 2 weeks ago I made this thing. So let's save that and see how it looks. And now we have a green light, which is sort of going off to one side here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because I've got this other light going on. Let's add a couple more here. Let's edit that cube again. Oh wait, I just pull up the window. Let's see. Let's add another light for 2. Add new light. We'll make this one purple light, and we'll just leave a name like 2. We'll attach to node 1 and save that. Now we have a purple light shining from another area. So if we turn this off, the lights will go out. If we turn it on, the lights will go on. There it goes. Whew. So there you go. Now you know how to make your lights. You can play around with that. You can create animated textures. And once again, you can use this system to do a lot of things. The states that you're in, once I've turned this on, I'm in mode 2. So if I put a new action tag, I can say only show this action tag in 2. That's how you can get around the limitation of the number of action tags. And we'll name this one 2. We'll name it crazy. We'll name it go crazy. And then we can say, hey, everyone can see this. You can set this to state number 3. So now when we go here, we have another option. We have the option to go crazy. So now we're going crazy. We haven't told it to do anything yet. But that's only visible when you're in that state. So if you go back to state 1, which was off, you can only see off and on when you're viewing the thing once it's done. Let's go ahead and edit this, and we'll show you the last thing. I need to get rid of crazy. Okay, so now when you're done with this, there's a little thing down at the very bottom which says create a new product from this configuration, and you click this. Okay, then it wants to know the following things. So this is going to be, I'm just going to name it interactive. Well, I should probably name it something good. This is the description that people are actually going to see. Previously, you submitted the catalog image. You don't get to pick a new catalog image. You are stuck with it. But you do get to name this anything you want. So let's name it, I don't know, TGC light up cube. And you can create as many of these as you want. So if you wanted to make a lava lamp that glows purple, or a lava lamp that goes green, or a lava lamp that has multiple settings, you can go in and submit as many products with the same model and the same textures as you want. This cube lights up the area and has an animated texture that anyone can control. Okay, anyone. Might be good to look and see if I've... okay, anyway, they charge you another 2K each time you submit a derived sort of object from your base object. Never list the base object in auction. That's just the thing that you program. So, understand I can be charged too big. Okay, you submit this. Okay, and now it's been done. So now we go to, here it is. And now, one odd thing about this is it doesn't quite show up the right way when you're in here. It'll never show you the preview catalog image. I've never understood why that is. But the ones you actually list are going to be the ones with no catalog image. When you actually list it, it'll show up correctly. So here's the thing. There's the little picture of the cube, and we're all set. So let's set 1,000 of these. And I don't know, I always charge 1K over retail, so let's see. I think it's going to be about 4,000. I don't know. It's a fairly simple. It's $29.90, so $39.90. 3,900. There we go. And we'll set it for like 2 months. And why am I showing you all this stuff? You know how to do this stuff. Well, yeah, that's true. So now I've listed it. But the problem is, when you derive an object, it doesn't give you one. If you go to your Things menu, it's not going to be there. So you have to actually go and buy one of these yourself. So on top of the submission fee and the $2K to submit the final object, if you actually want one that's going to be programmed to work the way the base one is, you got to go buy it. You still have the base one. So I got to cough up another 3K. So now I spent like about 6K getting this thing. Okay, so now I can take this out. Here's a light up cube. Now this one isn't programmable. I'll just set it down right here. And it should automatically, after a second, go to its offsetting. There we go. Now it's in offsetting mode. Now I can go to its tag, and the choices I have are on, which lights it up, and off, and that's it. There's no other settings here, just those two. I can't edit this. It's the finished object that people buy. And once again, you can set it to have just the decorator have the ability to change that, or the others. Alright, so, man, it's probably a pretty extreme close-up, but I'm Francis7, and I hope that this little brief tutorial... Oh, I'm shouting too loud, am I? I hope this little brief tutorial has helped you out in programming your objects. That's it. Get lost.